Welcome, everyone. The fundamentals to gain inner peace with your host, Coach Menachem Bernfeld. It is Tuesday tonight. Usually we're on Wednesday. But tonight we're going to be discussing a little bit, getting ready for Pesach and the Seder to see where we are, some preparations. And before we start, as usual, to thank our sponsors, OK Clarity, which is the place to find top-notch therapists, coaches, and nutritionists. OKClarity.com, professionals are vetted and have extensive experience working with the Jewish community. And you can find me there too. If you're in the market for a therapist, coach, or the like, or if you are a wellness professional looking to get more online exposure, go check them out. OK Clarity has an amazing WhatsApp status with thousands of followers. That WhatsApp is a free way to improve your mental health. And they post great humor so you can laugh. If you have WhatsApp, shoot them a message, 917-426-1495. That's 917-426-1495. Okay, so let's get started over here. So let's take a moment and stop and see where we are. Menachem in 2 weeks tonight. We should all be well. It's going to be the night of B'dikas Chametz. And we still have 2 weeks to prepare whatever you need to do. For some it's a lot, for some it's a little, but whatever it is. And it is important to prepare whatever it is, whether it's cleaning, if you have to get ready. We don't want to fall into a situation. We don't want to fall into it, even though if it does happen, which it many times could, there are ways how to cope. However, if we have time and we have a few days before, we can prepare, see what we need, see where we are. And there are many ways to prepare. You can spend a few minutes reading about Pesach. That sounds funny. There's so much to clean and cook. That's true. Cleaning and cooking is also preparing. But to really know, what do I need? To stop for a moment and think, what do I need to feel I'm ready, I'm there. So when it's actually Pesach, you feel like, here I am. I didn't fall into it. So it could be, so you can read a book, you can read the Haggadah, you can learn just a few minutes to see what we're looking at, what are we doing, why we're doing things. If you feel the spiritual high when you cook and bake, that's amazing. Take it in, you can journal, get yourself ready, whatever it is. Tonight I wanted to discuss 2-3 interesting ideas that will help no matter where you are. It's visualizing. To visualize, number one, visualize the positives. Number two is visualizing negatives. Yeah, that's also one way of looking at it. And after that, to make an anchor. An anchor is so that you don't need the preparations. You can go there right away, remind yourself what you want to feel, no matter what's going on. And hopefully that will help. So let's stop for a moment. First of all, discuss perspective. I don't know where you're going to be for Pesach. I don't know where you are now. And there are people who are spending Pesach in the hospitals. There are people who are spending Pesach in hotels. People who are spending Pesach at home, maybe go to their in-laws. There are so many other different ideas. So you have to know where you are. In Menachem, we should all be healthy. And what's the plans? Where are you expected to be? What are you, where are you going to be? But think about perspective. If somebody is in the hospital, Hashem should help, they should have refuah shalem fast and get out of there before Pesach. However, if they are there for Pesach, there are ways to make peace with it see what could help them, if they need somebody there or what they need, at least where they are, to make them feel a little bit uplifted. They should have something, no matter where they are. It could be hard, but you can see what you need. But imagine they let you out, now, and Baruch Hashem, you're out, and you're home for Pesach or wherever you are. So that's Baruch Hashem. No matter what's going on, I'm feeling great. I'm so glad to be where I am. But for many, even if you're home or wherever it is, it can be stressful. For some, it's very beautiful and stressful. Some people, it's very hard. You might not be looking forward to something that's too hard for you. And it's interesting to see Pesach by night, by the Seder. Many have expectations what it's supposed to look like. And there could be a lot of pressure. The high expectations. And if it has to look a certain way, then if it doesn't, then we can get triggered. So let's start with visualizing the positives. I remember when I started Pesach for the first time, it was overwhelming. You're thinking to yourself, how am I going to do this? There's so much that has to be done, whether it's the cleaning, cooking, preparing for the Seder, actually making a Seder. Well, my grandfather was able to do it, my father, but me, how am I going to do it? What do I have to do to make that Seder? So what did I do? Find a quiet place with a pen and paper, sit down, and I actually made a mock Seder in my mind. Sat down and visualized the whole Seder, and let's visualize it positive. You come home from shul, everything is ready, everything is great, it's beautiful. And you go step by step. Now, as a joke, I would say they sell out there a pamphlet that tells you exactly what to do. And they call it the Haggadah. You open it up, the first thing is Kaddish. Amazing. Imagine you're sitting by the table, kids are there, you put on your white kittel. Okay, so that's number one. Write down my piece of paper, kittel. Make sure whether it's clean or I have to have it, where it is. Very good, beautiful. Becher, wine, grape juice. Step by step, just imagine making Kaddish. And if you do it for the kids, Becher is for them. And just write it down, made a whole list. So that helps just to organize, to make sure I know what I need. You come to the karpas. Yachatz, wait a second, you need matzahs. Oh, don't forget matzahs. So it's a basic list, but do it now. Don't wait till the last minute. If there's something you need to buy, you'll be there. You'll be able to spend time, go out, try to avoid the traffic, whatever it is, buy what you need so you're ready. But that's just an organization skill. Write down, make a list. But to visualize a positive situation, no matter where you are, to see things are working out. Everybody's in a good mood. Things are working out. You have what you need. Just see it in a positive light. For many, it might be hard. It might be a challenge. Maybe you've never seen a positive Pesach. Okay. So become aware of that. It's important before you get into the situation to know what do I feel like, what are my triggers, what does it bring up, and then to visualize things are working out, you're okay in a positive situation. Now let's go to the negatives. Now the question is, why would somebody want to visualize a negative situation? So it's important. It's not that we're visualizing negative and walking around with the negatives, dwelling in the negatives the whole time, so that, that's how you're preparing for Pesach. But it's a way that no matter what happens, no matter what it looks like, you'll be there, you'll be ready for anything. What could be the worst? What could be the worst? Talking about the kids crying, maybe grape juice spilling, maybe the whole table flips and everything falls down. Just imagine the worst. And while you're imagining that worst, you can be in a calm place. Just look at what's going on and you have a smile on your face. Oh, like, wow. Or before that smile on your face, just see that you might be nervous, anxious. I can't, it's not working out. Become aware of that. And now to take a deep breath and tell yourself you're okay. You'll be fine. You'll wipe it up and you'll continue. So whatever comes into your mind, whatever ideas, imagining the worst, so that when you see yourself by the Seder and whatever happens, it's probably not going to be that bad. And you'll be ready. You'll have the right state of mind to be able to be there. And even though it's not exactly the way you thought it's going to look, again, that positive way of looking at it. But no matter what happens, you're okay because you've seen worse. You've seen worse. And whatever, you had experience in the past, things that didn't work out, things you didn't like, imagine it happening and see yourself, take a deep breath, be calm, and be there even though it's not exactly the way you'd like it to be. You get there and for some reason there's no grape juice. There's no matzah. You forgot. Your spouse forgot. Didn't take care of it. Your fault, my fault. I told you. Morer, charoises. You didn't make it. You didn't make it. Now again, everybody with their own experience. And to breathe and relax. And it's okay. So it won't be perfect. And if you think about it on a spiritual level, that is really what we're looking for going out of Mitzrayim, to be tied up with our things that we need things to be a certain way. It has to work. I have a picture in my mind that I want it to look like. And if it doesn't, I get upset. So that means you're connected and your whole being is dependent on everything that's around you. And that can be in the gullus itself. But to get out of your own gullus, to be able to let go, it's okay. You're okay. It's not exactly the way you saw it in your parents' house. It's not exactly the way you think it should look, but okay. Whether it's going to in-laws, making Pesach for the first time. Again, many people have a beautiful time and it's positive, and you might wonder, why am I talking about negative situations? And again, if it's positive, take it in, enjoy it, and thank Hashem. But again, because there are high expectations, because you call it the night of the Seder and everybody's like a certain way that it has to be, and also depending of your experience, the way you grew up. So to be able to tell yourself, yes, I would love if it would look like A, B, and C, the way I would want. However, I'm ready for anything. I'm going to prepare as much as possible to be there, to have everything ready. But if we forget something, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll go to a neighbor. Or we won't have. Wow. And to be in a calm state, to be able to breathe in that situation, that could be hard. So if you visualize anything possible, visualize anything that can come up in a quiet place now, 2 weeks before, and see how it triggers, how it does make you a little bit upset because it didn't work out. And now take a deep breath and relax and try to be in a relaxed state of mind, so that in Mitzvah Hashem, when you get to that Seder, and it's going to work out beautifully, it probably won't be that bad, and it'll be beautiful. And yes, whether things come up or they don't, you're okay in any situation. So that's the reason why we're talking about visualizing negative. But just do it for a few minutes. You can write it down. take a deep breath, relax. You can practice every day for a few minutes, but overall, you don't have to think that that's what it's going to look like. You can imagine positives and see it working out, see it beautiful. Everybody's happy, everybody's okay. They go to sleep early, they go to sleep late, they're cranky, they're not, whatever it is, it's beautiful and it's good. Now to anchor it. Anchor is to take that feeling, whether it's a relaxed state, so that you can bring it back whenever you need it. So now you'll take a few minutes, take a deep breath, go into that relaxed state, see yourself relaxed, and then do something small. An example is you can actually hold your finger while you're feeling relaxed, and you're making an anchor. Next time when you want to feel that state of mind, all you got to do is touch that finger. It can be touching a certain space in your hand. When you practice a few times, relaxed states and putting your finger on it, next time when you need it, you won't have to get yourself ready. You won't have to prepare. All you have to do is put your finger there, and straight away your mind is going to know exactly what it's looking for. It's going to bring it out of the files in relaxed states. So that's an anchor. It can be a word. Choose a word that works for you. You can use breathe. You don't have to say it loud. In your mind, you say breathe, or I'm okay. You say it, you're in a relaxed state, you say I'm okay. And when things come up later on, all you have to say is in your mind, breathe. And it takes you right back to that place where you want to be, no matter what's going on. So that's to be able to anchor, and this can be used anytime, not only Pesach, not only for the Seder. To be able to anchor an emotion, a positive emotion that you want to get back to. You can even use it if you're by a simcha, you feel the joy, you feel the positivity. You can make an anchor to that feeling. And then the next day, you want to go back to that feeling. All you do is touch that place, whatever the anchor you made, and it brings you right back. Those memories come out right back to that feeling. Or use a word. And again, self-care, we discussed a lot. It's important to see what's something that you can do something small for yourself while you're working so hard, putting in so much time, or for those who it's hard. Many people, the experience is not positive. They're not looking forwards. And again, I don't know where you are, and it could be it's hard. Could be the situation is hard. The people around you, it's possible. But that you should be able to be there for yourself, to tell yourself, I understand. And, you're working hard, you're doing what you need to do. You deserve something. What's something small that would help? And if it's something that you can't do over Pesach, you can even have in your mind after Pesach and Menachem, after doing all of this work, after, putting in the efforts and doing my best, what can I do for myself? It could be something small, it could be something bigger. Whether it's a massage, like we mentioned before, or it's buying yourself something small. Don't empty your bank account, but it's knowing that I'm there for you. I'm here. I know it's hard, and amidst Hashem, you will get rewarded. You put in what you need to. You had to do whatever it is, and yes, you deserve. And when I'm done, I won't be able to do it now, but when I get back home, or when things calm down, after you pack it all the way, and you're ready for the summer, or whatever it is, you deserve something, give it to yourself. So that's to visualizing positives, visualizing negative, not for too long. See the worst case scenario, so that no matter what happens, you'll be ready for it. And then to anchor the relaxed state of mind, anchor it in. Remember what it feels like, so that if something comes up and you need to pull that out, you can pull it out. You can be there. Anchor it in, whether it's a place you touch with your hands, or it's a word. It can even be an object that you have in your house, whether it's sitting on the shelf, something that you look at that, and when that you can make the anchor for yourself. When I look at that little toy, when I look at that small thing on the shelf, it reminds me of being calm and collective, even though the situation is hectic. So it can take you back to that experience, that emotion. And so that's it. That's basically the preparations. Again, if you can find a few minutes to learn, read something in a relaxed state. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? It can be a book, it could be the Haggadah in English. You'll feel a little bit more connected if that's something that talks to you. If while cleaning, baking, cooking, you feel the spiritual high, which is amazing. So you're getting ready, going out of Mitzrayim, out of our own Mitzrayim, and getting ready to have our own Geula. We hope to have the Geula, everybody together in Yerushalayim, but if not, we can have the Geula today, every day, by learning how to let go, how to be okay, how to experience the moments, whether it's positive or negative, we don't get lost. And we can take a deep breath and calm down. And that is a very small geula for ourselves, so we're not tied down, pulled from all the sides when it's hectic. So that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for showing up. I know it's Tuesday, and some of you will be listening to it, I guess, tomorrow, or you can listen to it the next 2 weeks, getting ready for Pesach, or whichever year Pesach hopefully will be in Eretz Yisrael, with the carbon Pesach and with the real Geula. But remember, take what you need, see what works. You don't need anything big, stick to something small. We'll open it up to the questions. Menachem, we'll see you next week, Wednesday night. We'll continue. Next week, Wednesday night is going to be just taking some time off. It's a hectic week. And you took some time off this week, which is beautiful. You deserve it more than once a week, but at least to make sure you take some time off. And I'll open it up. If you have any questions, you can raise your hands, ask if anything comes up, any triggers, how to deal with it. Feel free to ask. Why is it sometimes very stressful situation in Pesach? So we did mention there could be many reasons, and I think everybody should stop for a moment to think what comes up for you. What is it? And again, if Pesach is beautiful and Pesach is something that you look forward and everything works out and you're not sure what I'm talking about, thank Hashem, keep it up. But for many, there's a lot of preparation. You have to be ready. Talk about chametz. Did I clean the whole house? Did I do it perfect? Am I finished? It can be very hard. And if you finish cleaning, you're cooking. It has to work out. Then talk about Pesach itself, depending where you are. There's a lot of getting together with family. Getting together with family for many is a trigger. If it's not for you, thank Hashem again. Beautiful. But for many, there are a lot of people around, different types, different emotions, and you might be aware of it. You might not be aware. You might be aware what you feel, you might be aware why, but it's always good to spend some time before and don't wait for the last minute to say, this is what I feel. And even if you don't know why, but at least becoming aware of that feeling. And these are good ideas we discussed tonight to get you ready, no matter what you feel, no matter where you are. work on it, take some time off, think about it for a few minutes, and when you get there, you'll be ready. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Any feedback, you can always send in to coachmenachem@gmail.com. Any questions? And the recordings, and hopefully this one will be available on menachembernfeld.com. On the top left, we have all the Wednesday night recordings available. Thank you. Have a great night. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week.